a 25-year-old associate of Elon Musk and former employee of the United States Department of the Treasury, was mistakenly granted the ability to make changes to a sensitive federal payment system, according to officials from the Bureau of the Fiscal Service. This revelation was made in a series of court filings released late Tuesday. Treasury Department officials stated that the error was swiftly corrected. A forensic investigation into the actions of Marco Elez, who resigned from his position last week after the Wall Street Journal exposed a series of inappropriate social media posts, is still ongoing. Joseph Gioli III, a deputy commissioner at the Bureau of the Fiscal Service, noted that, to their knowledge, Mr. Elez was unaware that he briefly had read permissions for the Secure Payment System database. It appears he never exercised these right privileges to modify anything within the SPS database and never logged in during the time he had these permissions, except during a virtual walkthrough. A forensic analysis is currently being conducted to confirm this. The significant mistake at the Bureau of the Fiscal Service, which acts as the federal government's checkbook by dispersing more than $5 trillion annually, occurs as a federal judge in New York considers whether to continue blocking individuals associated with Musk's Department of Government Efficiency from accessing Treasury Department records. Initially, lawyers from the Department of Justice claimed Elez was given read-only access to sensitive records. However, affidavits submitted by BFS employees on Tuesday revealed that the 25-year-old was inadvertently granted read/write access to the sensitive system used by agencies to send large dollar amount transactions to the Treasury Department. According to Gioli, Treasury Department officials also provided Elez with copies of the source code for multiple payment systems, which he could edit in a digital sandbox. While Mr. Elez could review and make changes locally to copies of the source code in this isolated code repository, he did not have the authority or capability to publish any code changes to the production system or underlying test environments. Elez resigned from his role on February 6, and Gioli stated that he was the only individual on the Treasury Department of Government Efficiency team who was given direct access to payment systems or source code. A preliminary review of his digital activity suggests that Elez stayed within the permitted bounds of his role when accessing the payment systems. While forensic analysis is still ongoing, Bureau personnel have conducted preliminary reviews of logs from his laptop and within the systems. At this time, they have found no indication of any unauthorized use or any activity outside the scope directed by Treasury leadership. There is also no evidence that Mr. Elez used his BFS laptop to share any BFS payment systems data outside the U.S. government. The filings also shed light on the ongoing mission of the Department of Government Efficiency with the Treasury Department. This includes identifying fraud, better understanding how payments are fulfilled, and enforcing an executive order from Donald Trump that significantly cut foreign aid. Thomas Cross, a tech CEO and volunteer with the Department of Government Efficiency, who is leading a cost-cutting effort at the Treasury Department, stated that their team is engaged in a 4 to 6 week assessment of the Treasury Department's payment systems. His role is not only to identify potential fraud, but also to understand how to use the department's payment systems to potentially cut funding to other parts of the government. Cross wrote that the Bureau of the Fiscal Service is well positioned to help agencies and the federal government holistically understand and address issues reported by the Government Accountability Office.